we have our panel guests on tonight, and Doris has been on the show in three different capacities. So Doris was on the show. This is her third time on the show. And Doris, the first time Doris was on the show, she was a curator of sorts with HarperCollins. Uh, and she used to send me all kinds of arcs. I used to love that. I used to get my box of advanced reading copies that Doris would send me. I miss those because I don't get them anymore. But then when the employees at HarperCollins went on strike, this was like 18 months ago, I want to say, maybe longer. Doris came on to tell us what the strike was about and what happened with that. And now Doris is with an organization. She's not at HarperCollins anymore. She's at an organization called We Need Diverse Books. But Doris is one of the most passionate people about African American books that I know. And if you don't follow her on Instagram, I don't even know if she's on Facebook, but I'm not really like active on Instagram like I probably should be, just because we have so many followers on Facebook. That's why I focus on. But I follow you. So I get to see, and I want to let you know that because of your postings, you posted about Black bookstores in different states. You did that. And several of them I invited to come on the show, and they've been on the show just because of your work. So Doris, welcome back to Black Authors Matter TV. And there's an exciting announcement about her organization is going to be one of the sponsors of the Children's Festival at the National Black Book Festival, and helping us make sure that every child who attends will get a free book, at least one free book. So
That's
welcome,
awesome.
Doris. Mhm.
Thank you. It's so good to see you, ladies, again. Queens, how are you? Thank you for my lovely new t-shirt. Yes, new
Okay.
merch. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're gonna be Ronnie and I are both gonna be at the Harlem Book Fair this year.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah,
have
we're
to
gonna
come.
have a tent. I'm gonna be bringing all the t-shirts. I'm not even gonna be bringing books. I'm bringing our line of t-shirts. And Rhonda's
You
gonna be
should.
doing. Yeah, I'm excited. We're selling so many shirts. I said we had the Black Authors Matter shirt, and I said, you know what? People are wearing message, they're really repping the culture with clothing and t-shirts. I said, all of the people that we've come in contact with, the concepts, we need to have some fresh stuff that we make ourselves and generate. And I have great graphics people, and I have a great screen printer, t-shirt printer. And so we're selling lots of t-shirts. I'm excited.
I'm
So
glad to hear that.
we're gonna be
I
up
will
there.
definitely be pulling up to get me some at the Harlem Book Festival.
Okay, yeah, that's September 7th. Rhonda and I are gonna be there. So we don't
It's
travel
going to be
together a lot,
busyness
but this
this
will be
year.
our second time traveling together.
Okay.
Mhm. So tell us about We Need Diverse Books and what the organization's mission is, and then what your role is.
So We Need Diverse Books is a nonprofit organization that supports diverse authors. They have scholarships, they have grants, they do workshops and mentorships. It's a way to try to level the playing field in publishing for all diverse authors, no matter what your diversity is. And there are separate um, like departments, if you will. So like if you're an Asian author, then there is a specific, grant or writing project or workshop that would be able to enter, and you would be surrounded by, others who are, just like you. And it just makes it a little bit easier for people to speak freely and to be passionate about the things that they're passionate about, and to write about cultures and ethnicity in a setting where people will understand it and grasp it and gravitate to it. So I run the Black Creatives Fund, which is clearly geared towards Black people, and so Black writers. And so We do workshops. Right now, we're doing the revisions workshop where 10 authors, well, 10 writers wrote a picture book, middle grade, teen, or adult book, and they were chosen to work with a author who is established, and that author will help them along with us having different chat and choose throughout the course until September, and they'll revise their entire manuscript, and then they'll submit it to Penguin Random House, and two of them will have the opportunity to possibly be published by Penguin Random House. So I think I talked about this the last time I was here because I
Yes, you did.
actually did the program. It was funny because I wrote my book, an adult book about my experience in the publishing industry disguised as a mystery. And I just, was letting loose. It was kind of like the other Black girl, but like on steroids. Like I really went in on the different meetings, the different things that happen that a lot of people have no idea about. And so I think it was a little bit too bold. And so I didn't win. But the woman who used to run it, Brianna, she was leaving. So I was recommended to replace her. And so I've been here almost 2 years and it's been great. I facilitated several workshops on marketing, sales for adult, middle grade, and picture books. We've done just a lot of different interesting things. Last year, I didn't get to go this year, but last year we had the Walter Awards, and well, they have it every year, but I went last year, and it was really great at the Martin Luther King Library in Washington, D.C., that they renovated. And so it was just so great to see the children coming in with their books to get signed by authors and just so excited. And actually, on Saturday, I went to the Bronx Book Festival and I tabled there
Saw
for
your
We Need Diverse
picture.
Books. And I saw so many of my old colleagues who told me pretty much publishing was still on their bull crap. And and I was able to get a lot of my books signed and meet some other influencers. So it was just really great to be in company with our people. It was lovely. So yeah.
It seems
That's
like every time I hear about the percentage of people in the big among the big publishers, the is it 5 or 6 or 4?
Yeah, it's
However
five,
many
the
they
big
are.
five.
Yeah. Well, every time I hear the percentage that's white, it's always 90+%. I
Yeah.
mean,
And
it's
now
like
it's
it's
even
never
less.
moved. Yeah, it's like I think the last person that told me, and I think they were on the show and told me, it was 94%. I mean,
Hmm.
how can you call yourself representing the nation and you're 94% white? That doesn't
Yep,
just it doesn't make sense.
and
exactly.
unfortunate, it's kind of like the movie industry, it's kind of like the music industry, because the industry is 95% white. They are going to jump on what they think is selling at the time. And
Mhm.
so a certain genre of Black authors may do well because the 95% thinks that's what all we read. So that's going
Yep.
to do well until something else hits. And then that
Hmm.
something else is going to be the next big thing.
Right.
And
They
it's
Yep.
just jump from one fad to another. I tell you,
mhm.
that made me remember who said it. It was Alyssa Cole when we had her on the
Okay.
show a couple of weeks ago. She
Hmm.
said, and she said, and I totally understand it because it's not just in publishing. But she said that as a Black writer, you're not allowed to succeed or fail on your own merits. You're always, what you do is always tied to, well, the people coming behind me, will they be able to get a book deal if my book doesn't do that well? And it shouldn't have anything to do with that, you
Yeah,
know?
no, it's really vicious. Like I've
Yeah.
spoken to an author, thankfully her book did do well, but she told me like they told her if her book doesn't do well, they're going to drop her. There've been again since I'm on the inside, I've seen, so many instances where the little few of us that do have the courage to speak up in a room full of others are shut down.
Gonna get
They just
blackballed.
don't listen. They're like, oh no, this is not it. I've been in cover meetings where I'm just like, why are the lips so big? Why is the skin so dark? Like this doesn't fit. This is not right. And a lot of times they'll push back. Every here and again, they might actually fix it. But for the most part, they push back because they do believe that, they know what's best. and it's really disheartening. I think it's down to 4% now. And just a couple of weeks ago, Lisa Lucas, who's a really big deal,
Right.
was unceremoniously let go. Tracy Sherrod was on the cover of the Publishers Weekly, and Tracy, everybody knows, is like, publishing royalty. She's edited so many books from Jennifer Lewis, all the way back to Tupac, Cedric. Like, there's so many, even Barracoon, like, she has done so many books, and there's so many authors who are just devastated every time one of the big Black editors are let go, because there's so few of us. So they encourage you to write your story, and then your story gets edited by somebody who's not familiar with your community, with your culture, with anything, and they may think you have an agenda. There's so many different avenues that it can go when you're not working with people who can actually understand and relate to your work. So it really is hard for Black women, because there's hardly any Black men in publishing, like, on that side of it, and just as hard as it is for the author. So, like, and I like, a lot of times when I'm doing these workshops, I tell them, like, you're the author, like, you are allowed to speak up, because you do have very few of us in the background speaking up. But if you're not saying the same thing, then that gives them even more reason to ignore, what we're saying. And it's really disheartening, because after the George Floyd incident, many of us in publishing were forced to sit in town hall meetings and listen to racists tell us about racism and how things were going to get better. And many of us knew that it was not true, and that they were just, running, like you said, following a trend. And now that we are not as trendy anymore, then, we're being let go in all of these DEI positions that they made up. And now they're letting us go and showing us, how they feel, which it was from the very beginning. So we didn't even need to go around the pony and horse show. But I guess, that's what it is.
Yeah, that it every few years, normally it's some sort of flashpoint that causes them to move or do something, but it's never sincere. The reason
Ever.
it's not sincere is because as soon as it's not like making money like they wanted to, they jettison whoever it is. Just they let them go quickly. And normally when they add them on, it's to a lot of fanfare, because they want to make it seem like they've seen the light.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly. And that's when you get the celebrity imprints, when the celebrity has no
right,
idea about writing, about books, about publishing,
right.
about,
Which means
marketing, sales,
it
none of
can't
that.
succeed. It's set up to fail, because they
Yeah.
don't even take it seriously in terms
Yeah.
of who they have running it. You know what I mean?
Part of it though is that we get to the point where if this is the mountain and only a few people can be on this mountain, and you see other people trying to climb up the mountain, we start to kick them down because we want to be the man. We want to be the one who's
And publishing, if you see somebody on that mountain, that means that how they got there is, more than likely they're not going to have your same views, because they are on that mountain, and
right.
so they don't even have the luxury to, relate to you. They're on the mountain with the rest of them on the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now I this is opposite of my exposure in terms of what reading and watching, but I didn't watch The Other Black Girl. I read The Other Black Girl. I thought it was it was hype. I thought it was all hype. To me, that's just my personal opinion. Thought it was all hype. And I was like, and I normally, if I get so far in a book and it's just not, I know I'm not gonna like it, I stop reading. But this
Mm-hmm.
book was so hyped, I said I'm gonna finish, because when I write a review, it needs to be genuine that I read the whole book. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look at the series because I didn't like the book. So why would I want to watch it? But American Fiction, I didn't read the book, and it's not called American Fiction. What's the name of it? Is it called American Fiction? The
American
book.
Fiction.
It is it's Percival. Is it Percival?
Oh, I don't know what the name of the book was. I know
No,
the
that's
movie.
what I mean. The book. I think the book is called something else. But I loved American Fiction. I don't know if you've seen it, Doris.
I haven't seen, I don't watch a lot of stuff. You know, my
You
son's
need
on
to
the
watch,
spectrum.
you need to watch that one because
I'll watch it on my
it's,
phone.
yeah,
You know,
what
my
it's
son's on the spectrum, so I have to watch TV on my phone because all my TVs are on Sesame Street.
okay. Well, yeah, or a tablet. You can watch a tablet if you have.
Okay, I will
Do
check it
that.
out.
You got a bigger screen because it depicts the things you're talking about in publishing.
Oh, I definitely need to.
The movie is
Yeah, I was,
about
we like
publishing.
the publishing women were really excited about the other black girl, the black women. We were like, yes, you know, she's gonna pull the wool, you know, but she didn't go in as, you know, as deep as I thought that she was gonna. And we were hoping that she would, but it's funny because the last person, when you all were talking about inspiration, I was inspired to write my book during the pandemic when everybody was home. And for like the past 15 years, I'd been preparing my team for like the sales conference and they would go off, but I never really knew what happened there. So when we were on Zoom, I realized that they were having an awards ceremony every single year. And I had worked kids, adults, helping everybody, you know, giving them everything that I could. And yet I had never been awarded for anything. And so that's when I started to write my book about my experience in publishing. So it was funny that you all were talking about inspiration because you literally can be inspired.
Yes,
And
by
depending on
event.
what that inspiration is, that passion will really come out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And in publishing now, with all the indie publishing that's going on now, the big publishers are trying to tap into that. You know, it's in fits and starts. You know, they're signing some indie people, but the beauty of it is a lot of the indie people now are hybrid. They're still indie. They might have some traditional publishing too, but they're still able to indie publish. So, you know,
And
that's
BookBub
something
is
different.
really good. We've done some workshops with BookBub, which is
Okay.
really good for indie publishers. And we're
Yeah.
actually going to do another workshop for that's going to be open because most of our workshops are for published authors. But this time, when we do the next one with BookBub, which probably will be in a couple of months, that one is going to be open to self-published authors as well.
So where can people find the information about the different workshops?
On weneeddiversebooks.org, there's a tab there that you do the drop down, and there are so many options. You can find out about the grants, the mentorships, any scholarships, any events coming up. It's all right there on the website. There's a Black Creatives Fund tab. That's where you can see what I've been doing right now. Like I said, the revisions workshop is there. So you would see the 10 authors who are mentoring, the 10 mentees, you would see them as well, and just the whole whatever the specifications of the program are in case you were interested in applying next year. And we'll also have a mentorship coming up, and that's just where writers get to pair with, again, published authors and just have a mentorship program to work on their book, but it's not like a competition like the revisions workshop is.
Well, we did put the website in the chat. I believe it's diversebooks.org.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, so it's in the chat. This sounds like a great service for published authors and aspiring authors.
Yeah, and we've had some really great people come to talk to the group. We've had just a lot of Black movers and shakers in the industry, which is really good for aspiring authors, you know, to see. And we have, you know, safe space platform. We don't record anything, none of that. And everybody's free to speak freely, passionately. You know, we bounce things off of each other. It's really just a great community because there's so few of us, you know, writers, Black writers. And in order for us to pull together and try to level this playing field, we really need to have that support system where we're constantly in communication with each other and just keeping each other abreast because other people definitely keep each other abreast, and we don't seem to do that as much, and that's probably why we're usually in last place.
I love the way you said that.
Yeah, I wanted to let you know I appreciate you had me participating in one you did like a year ago, or maybe a little bit more than that, about marketing for indie authors and different ways to market smartly, market their books. And they are grants, and they do pay a stipend. So for people
And they
who,
have educator grants. If you're a teacher and you would like to diversify your bookshelf, there's definitely educator grants. I think last year it was 2000. I'm not sure what the next round is, but they definitely have grants specifically for, for trying to combat the book bans and everything, just that the fact that we're being targeted. So I really am pleased with my time here. Like, I've been here for a while. I really love it. And I also write book reviews for Publishers Weekly. So although I don't work at Harper anymore, I'm still very much into publishing, into keeping up with what's happening. I still, like, I just posted some of the, actually, your authors tonight are all on the front of my page because I posted the on sales before I came on. So that was
okay,
great. And also the one who was talking about the property, I actually got this Rooted: The American Legacy of Land Theft and the Modern Movement for Black Land Ownership by Bria Baker. The publisher sent me this earlier this week. So I was just
okay,
thinking of this book when you all were discussing.
about the
Um,
air properties.
exactly.
Okay, I need to make a note of that, so I can invite. It's called Rooted,
Yes. The
and it's
American Legacy of Land Theft
and
and
what's
the
the
Modern
author's
Movement.
name? What's the author's name again?
Bria, Brea Baker.
Okay, all right. I have to reach out to Bria to see about getting her on the show.
You should.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
so now you have behind you, you have Summer is Here. Now, is that one of the, because I know you did a live where you were unboxing books, and
Well,
I was
this
watching
one
it.
I
It was your
unboxed.
first one, and I said, "Oh wow, Doris is unboxing. Let me watch her first live." And then in the middle of it, she unboxed the books of mine that I sent her. So that was I didn't know it was gonna be up there. I said, "This is great. This is great." So now, what's
Yes,
that
I'm
one?
glad you were surprised. This one I got at the book festival. I have a whole,
The
they had
Bronx.
so much great stuff. The public
Okay.
library was there.
Okay.
Renee did sign it. And these authors, that's another thing. Like, they be working. They're like artists because they have to keep moving in order to make the ends meet. So she literally was at the book festival. A lot of others were too. And then the next day they were at ALA, which was in Louisiana. So they were in Louisiana for ALA, and Renee was the keynote speaker. So that was great. And of course,
ALA is
Vashti
an
was there.
amazing, ALA
Vashti,
is an amazing event.
I want to go. I still haven't
I
been yet.
I've been, but it's been a long time. Now, is this the ALA, the Black Caucus one, or the big one,
No, it's the,
the
yeah, it's just
the
a
national?
regular American.
Okay, okay, yeah, I haven't been in a long time, but I need to put it on my list of places to go. When
I
they have,
definitely want to go.
yeah, when they have those, because I'm working on is for the next, I'll say 18 months. I want to go to as many events as I can with our t-shirts. So I want to go where book people are, because book people, that's who buys them. So
Right.
I have to look at
Well, the AALBC.com, that, the African American,
I know Troy
that one,
really,
that
really well.
website, he lists the different festivals and book fairs.
Okay.
And you just have to scroll through them. I think they're like by state and even by country.
Right.
So that's really
Okay.
cool to see like what's upcoming. But also a lot of the authors, they always promote when they're going to be somewhere, but you don't be on Instagram. So I'm not sure.
You know, I post this show on Instagram. That's really what I
That's as
do
much.
on there.
That's her extent of
This
being
is
on
my
Instagram. Post
extent.
the
Right.
show and then leave.
And then when I
Well,
go,
I
I
can
see
say
your
that's
stuff.
my extent on Facebook.
Okay.
See, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. So but what I need to do is get you more into my algorithm so I can see your stuff. So I'm gonna have to go on your page a lot more so I can get your page on my algorithm.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
please
key
come
for
on
me is
over.
I only follow 5 people. So, and I'm not exaggerating. It might be 6. So now I think we have 4,000 on Instagram for the festival. But so, I have to I focus on, the 97,000. That's what I have to, that's why I put
Yeah,
my attention and
that's
time
smart
in. I
marketing.
just, yeah.
You have to
So,
do-
but I need to do more on Instagram, because it's, my daughter always tells me, Mom, you need to be on there more. So I'm gonna do it. And so
My daughter
when
always
I
tells me I need to be on TikTok, but I'm like, I'm not doing that.
yeah,
I'm not going
I'm
over
not
there.
trying to do everything. I can't,
No,
because you can't stretch yourself for so thin. You know,
exactly.
you can't be effective in 15 different places.
Right,
You
because
just
I
be
still
like
have
on
like
a
a
loop.
9 to 5 as well. I work
Yeah.
for I don't work at Barbershop Books anymore. So I work
Okay.
at Life Camp, which is a non-violence, well, anti-violence nonprofit organization. So it's run by Erica. Well, she stepped away, but Erica Ford's organization, and they just it's a cure violence model. They, interrupt violence. They show up to gun violence incidents. They're just community based, and it's really great. I love it.
Okay. Well, one of these days, Doris, I'm gonna have to be in the same city. Well, we'll be in Harlem.
Well,
Well,
September.
yeah, September. That's
We
right.
will definitely see you in
Yeah,
September.
we'll
And
definitely see you.
Definitely.
I'm also thinking about going to Philadelphia in August.
You told me about that, but
Yeah, for
I don't
Literacy
think I'm gonna
Nation.
do. What is it
What's
for?
in Philly?
What is it called? Literacy Nation, I believe it is. He's doing a book festival, so I told him I would come up and support that one as well.
Is that
Okay, that
Mr.
sounds
Ashby?
good.
Yes,
Okay. All right. Is this his first year doing it?
I want to say yes. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, I believe this is his first year doing it.
Okay. I
We
have to.
went to one last year. Was Treehouse that did it on close to Broad Street, and it was pretty good. It was really, really great. The community came out.
Right.
They did haircuts. There were so many books. They kept replenishing. It was so nice. So yeah, that should be nice for you, Rhonda.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
well,
I'm
let me
trying
know, and
trying to
then
get out
I'll.
more. I'm always in the house, so I got to start getting out a little bit more.
Me
Yeah.
too. They call me No Show Doris because I'm not coming.
Well,
I
next
can't
year
wait to-
I'm gonna do some more traveling, but I don't, as far as like vending or taking things. The t-shirts are just lighter weight. Books are heavy, and it's
Yes,
too. And then you got, a lot of people, they may not read, but they'll wear a t-shirt.
right. And you
So
can military roll them, so you can really
yes,
fit a lot in your bag.
yes. So I'm so yeah,
I'm a
that's what
lot
I'm.
closer to New York than Gwen is, so I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
a
jump on the
lot.
train and ride on up. Be there in a couple hours.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm looking for places closer to me, but it's not. I even contacted the New Orleans one, but they don't have vendors. Did you know that, Rhonda? The New Orleans Book Festival, that Tulane, the one at
Oh,
Tulane
yeah, yeah. They don't have vendors, but there are other book festivals that do have vendors, though.
in New Orleans. Okay, well, I'll have to get with you after the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, Doris, thank you so much for being a guest. Thank you for the hookup with the books for the festival. We're so excited about that. And I've already told you this, but please give our sincere appreciation to the organizers of your organization. And who's the brainchild behind it?
It's Ellen O. She's a Asian author, and she's very in your face. She gets on the publisher. She's always been. So it was great that
Okay.
she and Danielle Clayton. She is also an author. She did the Bell series and the Marvelers, and she also it was those two together. And our executive director is Carolyn Richmond, who's an absolute sweetheart. I love her to death. So it's just a really great team that really is determined to, you know, level the playing field for all diverse authors, no matter what your background, no matter, what your diversity. Okay, we have a guest appearance. No matter what your diversity may be, they're
Okay.
just really passionate about it and, completely understanding. When I did the workshop, it was really important that we had, Black people speaking to us, editors, agents, blah, blah, blah. But then when we got to the end, because of how stretched thin Black editors are, all of our books were reviewed by white, editors. And so that kind of put a little, damper, but it happened that I was able to come back around and, explain my experience, explain the things that work, what didn't work, and they were open to making some tweaks. So, we started asking a little bit earlier, and hopefully, we'll have a little bit of a more diverse pool of editors at the end. But just a couple of tweaks, that a person who had been through the program, was able to share, and for them to be receptive, because you really don't get that, especially in publishing. Like if I did that at Harper, they would have just been like, yeah, whatever. So at least here, they actually take what you say into consideration, look and see that, okay, that makes sense, and then make the changes. So that's really encouraging.
Okay, well, we're at the end of our time. As a matter of fact, we're a couple minutes over.
A little bit
So
yeah.
we want to say good night to all of our viewers. We'll be back next Tuesday with another amazing episode of Black Authors Matter TV. I'm Gwen Richardson signing off.
And I'm
Good
Dr.
night.
Have a wonderful evening and a great week.